works?
We just did some mental athletic training with Chester Santos, who has the best memory in the United States.
With ease. Joining us right now is memory expert and winner of the 2008 USA National Memory Championship, Chester Santos.
If you have trouble remembering names, faces, where you maybe put the coffee cup, well, if you do, Chester Santos, he can help. He's a 2008 National Memory Champion. He's here to help us.
Certainly knows he does. Chester Santos is the United States Memory Champion. He captured the title this past weekend in New York City. There he is accepting the prize. He's now
more than you can count or see. He's got the names of every congressman and senator seen. Stack a decade ways from Sunday. He'll get it every time the international medal.
Who's the 12th District New Jersey Congressman?
Rush Holt.
Okay. Rush Holt.
In the games you play, he's got the corner wrapped up in his steel trap.
10 of hearts.
Three to go.
2 of clubs.
Yes.
Jack of diamonds.
You got it.
And 3 of diamonds.
Unbelievable.
That's incredible. First of all,
Rest can get enough of his amazing feats. He got the memory down to every single.
We have Carol, Rick, Pedro, Jack, Andy.
From Berlin to Dubai with dizzying acts every single time. He's got the power to educate, the power to thrill and memorize. All wrapped up in his insatiable mind.
Chester Santos.
He's one of a kind.
He's your man. He's your champion. Take a ride in his mind and you'll see.
Some of his techniques stretch all the way back to the ancient Greeks. But what's amazing is that standing in front of you as a modern human being, I can still feel those techniques reprogramming my brain to remember things better.
International man of memory.
Thank you, everyone, for having me here today. I like to start all of my presentations. I think this one's supposed to be called Memory Fun 101. I'm not sure if I remember. I think that's right. I like to start all of my presentations out with a quick demonstration. So way over toward the back at the edge, there's a girl named Tina. Tina, right there, can you please stand up? And everyone in Tina's row, can you also stand up, please? And actually, everyone in all the rows in front of that, please stand up as well. I want everyone to cover their name tag, so I made it a point to meet as many people in this section as I could. Heard everyone's name one time. I think I might have bitten off a little more than I can chew this time around. This might be tough. Let's see if with your name tag covered, if I manage to give your name correctly, please have a seat. So we have here Barbara and Terry and Alex and Sot and Agnes and Tom and Cynthia, and David, and Miriam, and Paulin, and Sarah, and Cindy, and Jean, and Muge, and Ingrid, and Elisa, and Sarah, Catherine, sorry, whew, close call there, Ashwarya, Deja, Nana, Christina, Jason, Hillary, Charlotte, Cecilia, Jay, Rashmi, Sarah.
Yep.
Pregya, I'm going to give up on you. What's yours? Susan. And then, let's see, Amit and Srirang and Bianca and Sharmila and, hold on here, I'll come back to you. And then Eileen and Katie and Susan and Mark. And let's see, we've got here Shira and Miller and Chantel and Brian and Amir and Flora, and Jennifer, and Lynn, and Leslie, and Manoj, and Sarah, and Schultz, and Ron, and I'm going to give up on those two. Just in interest in time. I could probably figure it out, but we'll give up on those two. I probably wasted most of my time, but I want to get through. Ian, and Meilin, and Zhang, and Carolyn, and Zon, and Steve, and Allison, and Ellen, and Harriet, correct, and Rose, and Rajiv, and Jessica, and Sujin, and Timothy, and Tanya, Yin, Johan, Jason, Sherry, Salima, Michael, Mel, Tish, Ilya, Haley, Neha, two Nehas. That doesn't usually happen. And Gaten, Alejandro, Raphael, Katerina, Maria, Kevin. Thank you. Just a quick demonstration there to show you what's possible with a little bit of memory training and winning the United States Memory Championship. I performed a lot of crazy memory feats I'm not going to get into. That took me more time than I thought it was, so I better speed things up. I did a lot of crazy things. I've done a lot of demonstrations on TV. Some of them may seem like extraordinary feats of memory, like that may have seemed to be an extraordinary memory feat, but in fact, this has all just come with training. Anyone can do this. Everyone sitting in this audience is capable of doing extraordinary things with your memory. You just need to learn techniques that make the most efficient use of the brain to encode information so that it makes it much easier to retrieve that information when you need it later on. There are three main principles that memory champions like myself employ. Number one, visualization. Take whatever it is that you're trying to remember and turn it into a picture. So for names, if the guy's name's Jim, a lot of times I'll see a dumbbell, like going to the gym. Jane, I might see a chain, an image that will remind you of the name that's going to make it more memorable. Second thing is you want to involve as many additional senses as possible during the encoding process when you're trying to commit things to memory. So when I starred in an episode of PBS's Nova Science entitled How Smart Can We Get?, I performed some pretty crazy memory feats, and then some neuroscientists appeared on the show and they explained how it was I was able to pull off those feats of memory. And they explained that it's because with these memory techniques that I've mastered over the years and that you'll learn a little bit about today, we are actually recruiting extra areas of our brain, areas of the brain that are not normally involved with memory. We're recruiting those extra areas to help us, and part of this is learning to utilize additional senses in the encoding process to activate more areas of your brain. The third thing that I want you to learn is to take advantage of the psychological aspect to your memory, and that is that we tend to remember things with little to no effort, things that happen to us that are strange, unusual, extraordinary in some way. If this were to actually happen right now, if an elephant came crashing through that doorway right now, at this moment, and it started spraying water all over everyone in here with its trunk, you might remember that for the rest of your life and always tell the story, and you would not have to do anything to commit that to memory, right? When you combine those three principles, visualization, utilizing additional senses from there, and you also use your creativity and your imagination to make what you're seeing, experiencing crazy, unusual, extraordinary, when you combine those three principles, it's a piece of cake to remember anything at all that you would ever want to remember. This is going to help you out in your career, in your personal life. It's going to make it much easier to learn things, thereby making it easier to achieve balance in your life. We're going to put this into practice now. Everyone is going to commit to memory without writing anything down the following random list of words. Listen, it's monkey, iron, rope, kite, house, paper, shoe, worm, envelope, pencil, river, rock, tree, cheese, and quarter. Okay? That's the random list of words. A lot of times when I recite that list of words to my audiences, I get looks from people as if, come on, man, really? I'm not going to be able to remember that, not unless you give me a lot of time to do it. but in fact, all of you are going to have that word list committed to memory perfectly in just about 3 minutes, okay? How you're going to do this is you're simply going to listen to what I described to you, and you are going to see and experience it happening as best you can, all right? See it, try to involve additional senses, use your creativity and imagination. The main thing here is to have fun with this. If you have fun with this, it's going to be easy to remember all of those words, forwards, backwards. Even next week, without any further review, you will still know them forwards and backwards. The first word was monkey, so I want for you all to visualize a monkey. See this monkey dancing around in your minds. The monkey's making monkey noises. Whatever a monkey would sound like. I'm working on that monkey impression. Someday it'll be decent. The point here is to see and hear the monkey, okay? The monkey picks up a giant iron because that was the second word. So I want you to visualize that. This monkey is dancing around with an iron. The iron starts to fall, but a rope attaches itself to the iron. Maybe you feel the rope. Maybe it feels sort of rough, okay? You look up the rope and you see that the other end of the rope is attached to a kite. And that kite's flying around in the air, it's flying around the air. Maybe you reach up and try and touch it, but it's just out of your reach, that kite. The kite you see now smashes into the side of a house. Really see it crash into the side of the house. Just picture that as best you can. This house is covered in paper for some reason. Really see that paper all over the house. A shoe appears out of nowhere now, and it starts to walk all over the paper. Maybe it's messing up the paper as it's walking on it, that shoe. The shoe smells badly. You decide to look inside and see why. You see a little worm crawling around inside of that shoe. Make sure you really see that worm crawling around. Next word was worm. The worm now jumps out of the shoe and into an envelope. Really see it go into the envelope. Next word was envelope. A pencil appears out of nowhere now, and it starts to write all over that envelope. Really see the pencil writing all over the envelope. The pencil now jumps into a river, and there's a huge splash. For some reason, that pencil hits the river. The river, you notice, is crashing up against a rock. The river is crashing up against a rock. Really visualize that. Rock was the next word. This rock flies out of the river and smashes into a tree. Really see it crash into the tree. And this tree, for some strange reason, is growing cheese. I bet you've never seen that one before. The tree is growing cheese, and out of each piece of cheese shoots a quarter. A quarter shoots out of each piece of cheese. Really see that quarter. It's a good sign that people are laughing, giggling. You're going to remember this. So I will go through this again one more time, but very quickly, and your job at this point is to simply replay through this little story that you've created in your mind. So we had the monkey was dancing around with an iron. The rope attached itself. The other end of the rope was attached to a kite. The kite smashed into the house. That house was covered in paper. The shoe walked all over the paper. Inside of that shoe was the worm. The worm jumped into the envelope. The pencil wrote over the envelope. The pencil jumped into the river. The river crashed into the rock. The rock flew into the tree. The tree was growing cheese. And out of each piece of cheese shot a worm. So you should be able now to recall the entire way. Next part is to have you do it. Let's make sure. So I want for you all to call out those random words on my cue, starting with the first one, which is monkey. Excellent. Give yourselves a round of applause. Nice job there. So right away, you can see that you are capable of doing much more with your memory than you currently think to be possible. It just takes a little bit of training. These types of techniques, I'm probably running out of time already, but they really can be applied to anything, not just random words. You can give speeches and presentations from memory with no notes. You can commit important business-related facts and figures to memory. You can build up a vocabulary in a foreign language using these types of techniques. Any exam material, easy to ace it with these types of memory techniques. And a very important application is remembering names and faces. Really, the most valuable asset that you have in your career and in your personal life is your mind. And your mind has hidden powers. One of those is a superpower memory. It just takes a little bit of training to unlock it. Hopefully, you've seen in this short presentation that this actually can all be a lot of fun. That's the end of Memory Fun 101. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.